going to drive to the line into one. You're going to aim for the line on the bottom of the racetrack. You're going to let off the brake, either touch partial throttle or floor it. Stay on the white line. When you let off at the 2 cones into 3, you're going to aim for the wall, put the left front tire in the trough. As soon as you lift off the brake, floor it, drive to the start-finish line.
You got that?
Okay?
Yeah. You lost me at like something about the second line. He said line like 8 times.
Oh,
there you go.
It's that simple though.
But for the drivers who are listening, though, they should take that into account from a true pro at that place.
Yeah, I mean that's the simple part of it. Now you got to get your car to work.
Yeah,
that's like the old days of Thunderline. All right, kid. Now you got the driving part done. Now go get your own car.
Yeah, now get your own car.
That's right.
You
think it'd be weird watching from the
Not
booth?
at all.
No,
I've enjoyed watching.
Locked in.
Yeah,
after all those guys have run into each other, we hear them chirping after the race. You don't have to chirp back. You don't have to worry about who's mad, who's not, who's how your car's running, whatever the scenario is. I just get done and put my headset on the counter and worry about where I'm going to eat dinner and how fast I can get to the airport, because it's there's just no pressure from that competition mindset. And I think I lived in that for so many years, and going to Phoenix, it will bring back a lot of great memories and a lot of fun that we had through the years. But when I was done at Phoenix in the fall and able to close that chapter and move on to the next one, it's been fun. And I hope that how much I'm enjoying myself comes across in the broadcast and things that we do here.
Absolutely.
Because it's just, I'm having a good time and being able to be involved in the sport that I love and really have built my life around is fun to be involved in a different way that's not competitive.
That reminded me of something, because I was standing by your car when you pulled up at Phoenix at the end of that race, and just to see all those fans, the photographers, everybody around you, like kind of capturing that last moment when you got out of the car. It was sad, but I mean, I was happy for you. But was it happy, sad? What was that moment like?
Yeah, it was a relief, because that week was long. There was a lot of people there. There were a lot of emotions going through your head, because it was the last week. There was no more next week, and up until that point, there had always been a next week or a next year. And then it all hit me going into that week. I was like, uh-oh. This really is the last week. There is no more next week. Now you're going to have to deal with the emotions of dealing with that last week and dealing with everybody being there and dealing with, seeing your kids when you get out of the car and having to hug your wife and tell her that was it. It was a great ride. And for me, it was looking at the team. Because those guys all have to do something different. They have a different driver, and everything that you'd been a part of building to that point was over, and it was official. And so I think that for those emotions and everything that was going through your mind at that point, it was that week was a lot to deal with. And when it was over and I got out of the car, I was like, okay, I don't have to answer any more questions. I don't have to worry about any more emotions. And it was finally official that it was over with.
You're not a super emotional guy, I've noticed, but maybe you were.
But I was emotional that week. I mean, the standing ovation in the drivers' meeting and the kids on the radio and everything that was happening during that week was just, it was emotional. And there were a lot of people there. There were a lot of people that, cared about everything that you did. And the biggest thing I learned last year, what you did in your career meant different things to different people at different times in their life. When you go back to the 29 car at North Wilkesboro, hearing people's story from where they watched the race, where they sat in the grandstand,